Shalom and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. This is Meditation and Mindfulness with Rabbi Adam Kligfeld.
Okay, good morning. Good morning to those who are here at my office at Temple Beth Am. Hello to those who are joining on Zoom. Hello to anyone who is following live on Facebook, and hello to anyone who's listening to this on the Temple Beth Am podcast series. It's going to be a beastly hot day in Los Angeles, so maybe we can think of this meditation as a cooling for our spirits. It could work both ways, right? You can imagine saying it's going to be a freezing day, so let's let the breathing warm us. Let's let the breathing cool us. I say that half jokingly. It is amazing what the mind is capable of. It really is. The mind is capable of cooling you down on some level. Right? And warming you up and evading the sensation of pain, which is different than healing necessarily the wound, right? And the mind is capable of being distracted so much that it forgets it's a mind. And the mind is capable of focusing such that the only thing that exists is the mind and everything in between. It's a merism. I mentioned merism in class this week, in Rashi class, and I was thinking of you. Speaking of merisms, Parshat Re'eh begins with one. Merism is, I'm joking with Alan because he and I have joked about this word for a quarter century. It's a word that references two polarities and denotes everything along the line on the polarity. So from good to evil is a merism because it doesn't just refer to the epitome of good and the apex of evil, but everything along that spectrum. So Re'eh ani noten lifnechem hayom. Bracha uklala, right? Today I set before you a blessing and a curse, right? Clearly, the Torah is not saying that it's either one or the other completely. Nothing is all blessing and nothing is all cursed. But the way I, God, present to you the system of commandments allows you to plot yourself either on the more blessed side or the more cursed side. You all know me well enough to know that I love language. I love the endless conundrum and puzzle of rendering biblical Hebrew words into English words, because even when you translate the word right, it doesn't mean you have transplanted the meaning. We often translate bracha as blessing. We often translate klala as curse, and in English, those seem to be opposites. It's unclear if when we say the English word blessing and we say the English word curse, we are conceiving of what they thought of in that non-verbal way when they heard bracha klala. I want to say that again, right? So imagine someone who cannot speak, who's not verbal. They still might experience the thing which we think of as a blessing. They just don't have a word for it, right? So when they said bracha and klala, the words meant something. It's not clear that it meant to them what blessing and curse mean to us. Rashi has an opinion, not on this verse, but somewhere else, that says that bracha, which we translated as blessing, is mostly about abundance. It's about extra. He derives it from the verse where God says that God blessed Shabbat and made it holy. So in what way did God bless the Shabbat? By making more manna available on Friday so that there would be an abundance. And God made it holy by giving us rules about things we're not supposed to do on it. So bracha is about abundance. And it's possible that klala, which we translate curse, is about paucity, not the opposite. Kal, right? Most three-letter Hebrew words, where the second and third letters of the root are double, are an expansion of a two-letter root of the first two letters. So kuf lamed lal, Kuf lamed kalal may be built from kuf lamed, which means easy or light or less or absence. It's the absence of weight. Something is kal, the absence of substance. If we throw that into this blessing, we have the idea that God is setting up for our ancestors and for us that however you engage with the system mitzvot, I do predict, I do promise, you can experience life as abundance, or you can experience it as lacking. It's softer than blessing and curse. Our theologies generally don't. Disagree with me if you want. Imagine a direct curse from the heavens for violating a mitzvah. I don't believe that. I do believe that we have more in our lives, that there's bracha, there's abundance, there's extra, there's fullness, there's overflow when we invest in this stuff. And I do believe that there's klala, there is lack, there is emptiness, there is a little too much ease, because kal can mean easy, when we avoid it. And it hits every place along that spectrum. So when God says, behold, I set before you bracha of Allah, particularly for our meditative minds, let's think about, either in the Jewish realm or beyond the Jewish realm, how we seek, attract, and revel in abundance, and what are the things that we do or don't do that contribute to lack, that contribute to less, that contribute to kal. Sometimes that can become a klala, can be a curse. Okay, that was longer than I expected, but we started early anyway. And I might give an expanded version of that somewhere else over the weekend. And I may not. You're just going to, no one knows. I don't even know. With that in mind, I invite you to close your eyes. And see if you can descend into bracha. Bracha, blessing. Bracha, abundance. See if you can breathe yourself into this moment of more. It really is a moment of less is more. Less stimuli, fewer distractions. The only thing really is breath and maybe one idea. But it's a portal through which we get to more, to bracha, to flow. If you haven't already, place your feet flat on the ground in front of you. Pay some attention to the noble right angles of your body so that your knees are at 90 degrees and your torso is perpendicular to your thighs on some level, and your chin is straight, not hanging. Asking your spine and the muscles around it to do that amount of work so that you could track and trace a line from your tailbone down into the center of the earth, and from the crown of your head to the heavens, straight and true, connected to Shamayim Ba'aretz, another merizim, and every rung along the ascent. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe enjoyably, richly, luxuriously. If you haven't yet noted the bouquet, the odor of the air today, make sure you take that in. Don't let it come into your body without recognition. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And aim for poised rest. What are the sources of abundance, of bracha in your life? And how do you experience bracha, abundance? Because you have embraced these mitzvot. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself experience the bracha suffusing you. Because you are in this system that God set up for us thousands of years ago. And klala, what part of your life, in your Jewish life, have you permitted to become L-I-T-E? A little empty, a little thin, a little unintentional, a little kal, a little lacking. So that it is almost experienced as a self-imposed klala, curse. And what can you do about it? Re'ei anochi noten lifnechem bracha uklala. Behold, I place before you bracha and klala, extra and not enough, more and less, abundant and insufficient, blessing and curse. and your mind wandering, just be easy on yourself. Come back to bracha and klala, to the extra and the abundance that you create and curate in your life, and the lack for which you have some responsibility, over which you have some control. And breathe. Ready? Come back to the surface, whether you want to or not. We always have to at some point. And we'll say the closing meditation blessing together. 3 times. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with a compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. Wish you all a shalom. Namaste. Shabbat shalom. Go create your bracha.
You have been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast site or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Temple Beth Am Los Angeles, go to tbala.org.